Welcome to the Red Zone Report. I am here with College Super Picks. You can find him on podcast on Spotify. And today we will be discussing our top 10 running backs. So we're going to start off with each of us going through our 10 through 6. And Isaac, what's your top 10? Or top 10 through 6, yeah.
So I'm going to go with, at number 10, even though he had a down year in 2022, I'm going to still go with Alvin Kamara for the Saints. He's been so good up until this year, so it's hard to just drop him all the way off. Number 9, who actually had his breakout year this year, I'm going to go with Tony Pollard. He's been showing for a few years now that he's better than Zeke, and this year he definitely showed way more improvement. And I feel like if he would have stayed healthy in the divisional round against the 49ers, then they could have won. Number 8, again, he was injured this year a little bit, but from his 2021 season, I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor because he may have been the best running back in the league that year. At number 7, I'm going to go with Dalvin Cook, who him and Justin Jefferson kind of carried his team, and so it's hard to drop him any further than that. And then number 6, I'm going to go with Austin Ekeler, who's just been so good lately.
All right, for me at number 10, I have Kenneth Walker. He's already looked amazing with the Seahawks, and he's only a rookie, so you can just imagine how much better he'll get with more development. At number 9, I got Tony Pollard. Again, like he said, outperformed Zeke, and he made the Pro Bowl as what on the depth chart said as second-string running back. And at number 8, got Dalvin Cook. He's aging, so which is why he kind of dropped from last year, but he's still a really good running back. And at number 7, Jonathan Taylor. Again, he just came off an amazing year a year ago. And this year, he didn't play as many games, and he was playing through injuries. The O-line is kind of deteriorating a little bit. And then at number 6, I got Josh Jacobs. Led the league in rushing yards, and was him and Devontae Adams were the heart and soul of that offense. What do you got?
Mine's very similar to yours. At number 10, I got Tony Pollard of the Cowboys. I don't think he's very deep into the top 10, but he had a great season, a breakout year, especially with Ezekiel Elliott struggling on that Cowboys offense. At number 9, I have Dalvin Cook of the Vikings. Not as good as his 2020, 2019, or 2021 season, but he's still a really good player. Interesting to see who picks him up now that he's been cut. Moving on to number 8, I have Aaron Jones of the Packers, a really good running back, really underrated. He's great every season on more of a passing-focused team, which is great to see. At number 7, Jonathan Taylor of the Colts. He was the best running back during the 2021 season. 2022 was a little rough for him, but it'd be criminal not to have him in this top 10. And at number 6, I also have Josh Jacobs. He always runs for a lot of yards, maybe on a run-focused team, but he's definitely one of the top 6 running backs, and that's right where I have him, number 6.
All right, who's your number 5, Isaac?
I'm going to go with Nick Chubb, which you could definitely put him higher than that. But from this year, I think he didn't improve a lot, and he kind of went down a little bit. And I just think that there's players that are better than him.
At number 5, I got Austin Ekeler. He's a dual threat. Honestly, I could probably have him higher up if the running backs I had higher weren't as dominant, as more important for their team. But Austin Ekeler, he can do it all. He's basically 2 positions into one, and he is probably the best offensive weapon the Chargers have right now.
At number 5, I pretty much have the entire New York Giants team, and that's Saquon Barkley. He carries that offense. Whenever he's there, they win, and whenever he's not, they don't. And he was there all year in 2022. He played his best season by far since his rookie year, really, in 2018. Saquon, got to have him in the top 5. I would have him a bit higher, but the 4 guys ahead of him are just elite at their position.
All right, what you got at number 4, Isaac?
This is the guy who I would have had at the beginning of this past season. I would have had him at number 1. But I'm going to go with Derrick Henry. His team was not great this year, and I think he just wasn't as good as he normally is. And I think that the other players ahead of him improved a lot. So I'm going to go with him at number 4.
All right, my number 4 is Saquon Barkley. Again, he practically carried the Giants' defense or offense. DeBoll knows how to use him amazingly, and this is definitely a really good comeback. If Geno Smith wasn't the comeback player of the year, it would have easily been Saquon Barkley without a doubt.
At number 4, I have Nick Chubb, dropping down a little bit. I had him a few spots ahead of Saquon Barkley last year. This year, they're pretty compatible. Nick Chubb, he just runs over guys. The speed is not as good as Barkley's or even Josh Jacobs or Jonathan Taylor, but his ability to just gain yardage after the first contact is incredible, and I got to have him in that top 4.
All right, who you got?
Number 3, I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs. Even though his team wasn't great, I still, even his rookie year, I knew he was a top 10 quarterback, and he just has been improving year after year. And I think that this was definitely his best year by far, and he's just getting better.
All right, my number 3 running back is Derrick Henry. This man got 2,000, and then he got 1,000 yards. This man got 2,000 yards in 2020, got 1,000 yards in only 10 games in 21, and then he ran for another 1,500 yards. This man is still a really, really dominant running back. The only reason why he's not ahead of other guys is because he's getting that age where really good running backs like him are starting to deteriorate, and Derrick Henry might have not the season that we might expect.
At number 3, I have Austin Eckler. He's a really good player. He's CMC-like, plays wide receiver, he plays running back like a wide receiver. He's incredible. He runs for a lot of yardage. He is Justin Herbert's main target as well. He's a great running back, and I would have him higher, but the 2 guys ahead of him are just the obvious 1-2 for me.
Okay, so at number 2, I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants. Just the way he's definitely been carrying his team. And a few years ago, I would have had him number 1, 2, or 3. But then he started getting injured, and I was like, all right, maybe he won't be as good. This year he came back and was healthy all year. And I don't think we've ever seen him play any better. This is definitely the best year of his career so far.
My number 2 is Nick Chubb. This man has been running for 1,000 yards his entire career besides his rookie year. And he just completely, honestly shut the door for Kareem Hunt and getting any really reps with the Browns, which I think is really good. And like Nick Chubb, he's just been the dominant running back. The Browns have gone through a lot of changes with Baker Mayfield to Deshaun Watson and different receiving corps. But Nick Chubb has been a constant, and he's still really dominant.
My number 2 is Derrick Henry. He's just an absolute train. He's a tight end playing running back. His ability to just run over defenders, the stiff arm, the trucking was the best in college football, got him a Heisman, and in the NFL has been nothing like we've ever seen before. His size, he's even got speed as well. The 2020 season from him was one of the best we've seen from a running back in a very long time. In an era of the NFL where running backs have to be dual threat guys, not just rushing. Derrick Henry, he's in my number 2. He was number 1 forever, but the one guy ahead of him, I think, is really good at everything a running back can have to offer.
All right, who's the best running back in your opinion, Isaac?
I'm going to go with CMC. You could say Brock Purdy or Nick Bosa is really the one who turned the 49ers around. I think this midseason pickup that they got out of CMC, I think that's really the one. I think he's really the player who turned their season around and got them into the NFC Championship. And he even played, even though they got kind of blown out in that game, he probably played one of the best games. He probably had one of the best games out of anybody in that game.
I completely agree with you on this. I think Christian McCaffrey is the number 1. He can catch better than every running back in the league. He can run better than probably 96% of the running backs in the league. And overall, he's easily the best running back, especially now that he's healthy. I think he could honestly go down as one of the greatest if he can stay healthy for the rest of his career.
Yeah, like you said, the health, it was there this year all year with the Panthers, the 49ers. The Niners was a great move for him. He played incredibly there. They still used that absolute weapon that is him in the backfield making catches, going for almost 1,000 yards receiving. Just an incredible running back. And like you said, that speed is a low, kind of under-the-radar threat with him that we might have forgotten about since his breakout in 2018, 2019 before he got injured.
All right, y'all, that is going to do it for today's podcast. Please check out College Super Picks. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.